This episode, we're talking about what length of cruise is right for you and running through the things that will get you banned for life from cruising. Plus, our ship of the week is Azamara Pursuit. We'll tell you all about her and what you'll find on board her. We've got some great deals that are available right now and the latest cruise news. So, let's start the show.
It's time to get your cruise on.
This is Cruise and Travel with Paul McAllister.
Hello, I'm Steve, and with me is Paul McAllister, the Chief Dream Cruise creator behind 101cruise.com.au.
This is a podcast that takes you into the world of cruising and lets you in on the big cruising deals each week.
You can find out more on our website, 101cruise.com.au, by signing up for the newsletter. All right, well, to kick the episode off, give us one of the deals that you found this week, Paul.
An amazing deal with Norwegian Breakaway. 9-night cruise departing Friday the 13th of June 2025. Leaving from Barcelona, also arriving back in Barcelona. So cool cruise. You're going to visit Ibiza in Spain, Palma de Mallorca. Oh, I'm going to say that so badly.
Palma de Mallorca, I think, isn't it? Something like that.
I was going to say it like that, but I thought it was wrong.
Anyway.
Okay, and let's say we're going there. Naples, Rome, I love Rome, Florence, Cannes, and then back into Barcelona. The inside room normally sells for $11,453 but this week you can get that for $795.
What? It sells for $11,000 US,
yeah. And
at the moment it's
$795 per person. So look, you're saving $10,658. That's 93% off.
So what's that roughly come down to per day?
I would say that's $88 a day.
Wow.
Yep. I'm good at maths. Hey, that's
US
cool.
dollars.
That's it's all US dollars, and it's all per person. Look, if you want to go for an ocean room view, you're looking at a brochure room for that price was $15,053, but our price $1,160 US. Look, that's a saving of $13,893, and that's a saving of 92%.
Wow.
Yeah, just amazing. And look, for a balcony room, normally they're $18,253. That's US. Our price at the moment, $1,307. Again, that's a saving of 93%.
So this is on Norwegian Breakaway. NCL is the cruise line, Norwegian Cruise Lines. And the ship is Breakaway. It's 9 nights and it leaves
from Barcelona and returns to Barcelona. So it's a really, really cool deal.
And the date?
The date, leaving Friday the 13th of June. So you got a little bit of lead time on this one, so it's great. Again, just remember all the prices that we've said are in US dollars. They're subject to availability and may change at any time. But be quick because these sort of deals just don't last.
Now the latest cruise and travel news.
Well, a passenger has been charged after a cruise ship from Argentina docked in Sydney Harbour and an illegal discovery was made inside his cabin on Saturday. The 48-year-old Brazilian allegedly had 10 kilograms of cocaine in the ceiling cavity of his room. Australian Border Force officials searched the cabin and allegedly found 28 individually wrapped parcels of the substance, which returned a positive result for cocaine when tested. I believe it's around 10 kilograms of cocaine would have been worth about $3 million when sold on the streets.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Silverseas has announced its 2028 world cruise. It's called An Ode to the Moment. It's set to depart from Miami on January 5th, 2028. It will be on board the almost new Silver Shadow, which friends of ours, hi Deb, are actually on at the moment, also doing a world cruise around the bottom part of South America. The 132-day journey will conclude in Nice on May the 16th, 2028. It's going to visit 58 destinations across 29 countries, including 17 overnight stays.
Wow.
Hashtag dream goals.
Yep. It's bucket list.
Wow.
Totally jealous.
That would be gorgeous. And Silversea, which we've cruised on before, absolutely beautiful. That ship the Silver Shadow was just launched last year, and it would be absolutely magnificent. The third hour of the US TV version of The Today Show is going to be broadcast live from MSC World America in Miami on Wednesday, April the 9th, ahead of the ship's maiden voyage. The show's co-hosts will tour Miami's newest ship, highlighting its dining and entertainment venues, as well as key features such as the MSC Yacht Club, a new outdoor family venue, and the 3-level World Galleria. So that's the Today Show, the US Today Show, which I think is on 7/2 or something like that.
That's probably
early in the mornings.
Is
here.
Drew Barrymore going to be on there as well, being godmother?
Possibly she will be one of their. You've just shot their load early there. You've told everybody who their guest star on the Today Show will probably be. Four Seasons Yachts announced the appointment of Kate McHugh as their inaugural captain of Four Seasons, which enters service in early 2026. Prior to joining Four Seasons, McHugh spent nearly a decade with Celebrity Cruises, where she most recently served as captain on the Celebrity Beyond and played a key role in increasing female representation on ship bridges to more than 30% across the Celebrity fleet. Now, I know you follow Kate.
I do. I love Captain Kate. She is amazing. Such an inspiration for a captain. She's so friendly out there. She's talking to the guests. She makes the crew look like they're all having fun. I just love her. I think she's amazing. Kate, if you're listening, I'd love to meet you.
Well, we've reached out to her and we're going to try and get her on the podcast in a couple of weeks because she would be awesome to talk to. You've shown me her farewell video clip that Celebrity put together for her. Obviously, much loved captain within that fleet, and they would have been very sad to see her go. Well, this week you want to chat about the right length of cruise for people. So let's start off with a first timer, okay? I haven't done a cruise before. I'd like to do one, I think. What should I do?
Oh, look, it's really hard because if you're really nervous about it but you want to try it, why don't do a small, say, 4-day cruise? Something that you're going to be away for a few days, you'll get to know the ship a little bit more. If you're really worried about being seasick or motion sickness on board, maybe try a 2-day cruise. It'll give you the idea once you get out in the ocean how you're going to handle it.
Or check the oceans where you're going to be. Like if you're in the Mediterranean,
it's going to be great.
It's not going to be choppy. You're not going to get seasick.
Well, look, we even, the Atlantic is always known as a very rough crossing, and we did it from Cape Town right across to St. Helenaville, and we were pretty close to Rio de Janeiro. Once we got near that equator for about 2 days before, 2 days after, it was like a lake. It was just beautiful. So you never know what the oceans are going to do. But somewhere like Mediterranean, it is nice and smooth sailing all the time.
Yeah, if you're going to do Bass Strait, then you might get a bit of seasickness.
Yeah, look, I would recommend you don't try, a trip down to Antarctica either on your first cruise. Okay. That's pretty rough.
So from there, once you've done that and you go, you know what, I didn't mind that 5 days. It was pretty easy. I'm used to it now. What would you do after that?
Look, a minimum of 7 days, because then you're going to really enjoy the ship and get to know all the facilities on board. The 7-day cruises, generally you're going to have a port day every day, which is great. So you're getting off, you're going to check out these new little towns or villages that you're going to, but you're still going to have that great enjoyment on board the ship for the 7 days. But look, if you like it, go for 14. The longest I've ever done is 18, and I was like, ugh, am I going to be able to cope with that? Especially when you had 5 sea days out there.
And how did you cope with it?
I coped really well. So it was fine.
Did the 5 sea days get did they become boring because there isn't a port to get off every day? Or
no, because the entertainment on board, there's always something to do. There's quizzes that they run. They have the bingo. There's card games. Like our day consisted of, okay, so we'll go for breakfast. We'll do our lap around the boat a few times, get some exercise in, or I go to the gym. Then, we'll lay by the pool for a few hours, have lunch, go and have a nap in the afternoon, wake up, we'll go and play some cards up in the bar area, start off the afternoon drinks, and then dinner and a show. So it goes so quick. I remember sitting there thinking, oh my God, we've already gone through 4 days of sea days and it feels like we've only just been out for 1 or 2 days. I really enjoy the sea days. Again, there's lots to do on the ship. You just got to go and explore it.
Or you can just lay by the pool and swim and eat and drink. And
There's a day spa to go to.
a lot of ships have a casino on board that you can spend a little bit of time at if that's your thing.
I just think there's a lot on there. To find I love going and finding a reading room where you can just sit there in a nice comfy chair and sit back and read your book. I mean, sometimes you can't lay in the sun all day because you're just going to be a crispy red tomato. But, there's other places that you can go and chill out in a nice cool area and just enjoy. And there's nothing wrong with having a nana nap.
Nothing wrong at all with that. And after our cocaine story earlier, we thought it might be good to run through the 11 things that will get you banned for life from cruising. So,
Absolutely.
what's the first one?
The first one, don't take any CBD products.
What are they? I have no idea. A CBD gummy.
Yeah, look, they're very popular in America, and it's like, I suppose you can equate it to in Australia, the medical marijuana. Okay, so you can get it in oil forms, you can get it in gummies, you can get different products of it.
So you can't take that on board?
Nothing, because in the end they see it as being marijuana, and it can give you a high. It just means that it's medically controlled.
And you can't take marijuana on board?
No, correct. So that's why they're banning it.
What's number 2?
I just wanted to say, even if you've got medical clearance, it's still prohibited.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a really interesting one, isn't it? Okay, second one, which makes me laugh every time, fishing from your balcony. It's a no-no.
Okay, so I can't pack my fishing rod?
Well, you can, but it's got to stay in your bag. You just can't go and cast off your balcony and get a marlin or something. Imagine catching a big fish, rolling it back in, and then taking it down to the kitchen and saying to chef, "Hey, mate, can you cook up my fish for me?" I don't know if they'll be too impressed. So, yeah, that's a no-no. Leave your fishing rods, if you're going to take it, leave it underneath your bed. So
imagine that flapping against everybody's balcony as you're trying to reel it in.
I know, it's shocking. All right, do you want to know number 3? Yeah. Taking dangerously posing for photos or taking dangerous photos. So, we all think of the old Titanic photo of the
I'm king of the world.
Yeah, I'm flying. There's a whole pile of those sort of words coming out. But it's a no-no because if you fall overboard, it's a major issue for the cruise ship because they've got to turn around and find you. They've got to get lifeboats out there to search around. And it's so dangerous because if you hit your head on the way down, you can cast you out, you're unconscious, you're going to drown. That's
you're gone,
not good.
Just like Jennifer Coolidge in White Lotus.
Yeah, so a passenger on Allures of the Sea in 2019 was banned for life, not just banned from that cruise, banned for life because she was posing precariously on a railing outside the ship trying to take a photo of herself.
Right.
So it's all in the terms and conditions, people. Have a read of them. It's very interesting.
What's the next one?
Bathing topless. I know a lot of you are going to go,
I did it once. Okay, you bathe topless once and forever you're known as the topless bathing guy.
Yeah, and you're banned from mankinis as well. Yeah, so look, whether it's on your balcony or out by the pool, it's a no-no to sunbathe topless. However,
keep the girls away.
Yeah, absolutely. However, Virgin voyages are allowed on a certain deck. So always check if you're on a Virgin cruise, what deck. Look, my researcher says deck 17, the Perch.
Those raunchy Virgin voyage people.
Can you imagine what else went up there? Okay. Having loud sex, this really cracks me up.
Having cloud sex?
No, loud.
Oh, having loud sex. Right.
No, not too much raunchy
so
next door.
Even in your room?
Even in your room. Well, look, there's an example. So a German couple was made to leave the ship on the first day of their 2-week cruise for having sex too loudly thanks to their balcony door left open. The cruise line classified it as security-related incident.
Rookie error.
I know.
Leaving the balcony door open.
Yeah, and just keep your voice down. All right, so everyone thinks, I'll take my drone on a cruise because I'll get these amazing cruise
Now, this is
shots.
something I want to do. I fancy myself as a bit of an amateur drone pilot, and I see beautiful vision of ships done by drones, and I think, I reckon I could do that.
Yeah, it's a no-no. And it's got to do that it can interfere with navigational systems. It's a bit like the planes,
Especially if you hit the navigational systems.
and you take something out, that wouldn't be good. But look, it's a blanket rule, no, that you can't use them. If they do see it, they'll take it off you and keep it in a secured area and give it back to you at the end of the cruise.
It's probably what they do with the fishing rod too, actually. If they
Might
detect
be.
that on you on the way in, they probably take the temptation away from you and give it back to you at the end.
Yeah. Look, this is pretty obvious where you think it would be, but smoking and vaping in non-smoking areas, like it's a no-no on board.
Yep.
You'll get warned. If you do it again, then they're going to say to you, okay, come on, off the cruise ship.
Yep, fair enough. I'm all for that
Oh,
one.
me too. And do you know what the fine is if you do get caught smoking in a non-smoking area, or if you smoke on your balcony? Even if you have a balcony, you're not allowed to smoke out there. It's up to $200.
Right.
Yeah, expensive. So just think about that.
Yeah, expensive ciggy.
There is a couple of cruise lines that do allow it, but again, check with your cruise line. But 99% of them will say no smoking unless it's in an approved smoking area.
All right.
All right, we've
What's
done this.
next on the
I've
list?
done this. I'm so guilty of this. So partying with the crew below deck.
Have you? Okay.
No, very first cruise.
We've all learned something today.
We have. We couldn't do it. They wouldn't let us do it. So my friend Luke and I, on our very last night, might have had a couple of drinks and knew that they were having a cruise party because it was last night. We searched everywhere for it. We spoke to all the crew, trying to, say to them, come on, take us down. We'll be great fun.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, they wouldn't let us. So, yeah, you can't do that. And look, the crew get in a lot of trouble if passengers are taken into their areas.
Well, they would probably get the flick as well.
Yeah,
They'd
most
lose
probably.
their job and you'd lose your cruise.
Yeah, and it's a shame, and it's not worth it.
It's a shame.
It's a shame. What is?
Okay, what's the next one?
Pranking guests and staff. Well, that makes sense. Behaving badly on a cruise can get you immediately kicked off if they're not potentially banned for life. Many cruise lines have a zero tolerance policy towards illegal activity or disruptive behaviour, something that YouTuber Nelk Boys decided to test. Silly boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What did he do?
On a 4-night Caribbean cruise to the Bahamas, they pushed the boundaries, doing everything from using abusive language, well, that's unacceptable to any staff member, trolling entertainer acts, and generally being disruptive, predictable, resulting in them being asked to disembark at the first available port.
Yeah, well, nobody wants them on board.
No, that's right.
We had some girls on the last cruise that we're on that were quite disruptive.
Oh, yes.
What did we find out in the end? Were they with one of the entertainers or?
No, they did know one of the entertainers, but
they were like guests on the ship. They
were.
weren't in the crew areas. They were in the public areas. And every day they flogged the best sun lounge and spent the whole day out there, and they were loud and obnoxious.
Drinking a lot. But then at the night time, I'm amazed I could even stand, but they would go to the entertainment and they were like, whoa, yeah, you're amazing. And like the person had only just walked onto the stage, they hadn't even sung. And they were
It's
really
called moral support, I think.
Remember, they were really abusive to the older couple behind
Yes,
who were just sitting there just saying, can you, sit down?
Asked them to keep it down a little bit, and then they started going off at them. So that wasn't much fun at all. And what's the last one?
Dressing in a costume.
Right.
Well, dressing up can be fun. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
with that.
well,
I love dressing up.
And a lot of them have a theme night. It's either white or Virgin have red and that sort of thing. So what's the idea with? Perhaps you're not allowed to impersonate officers, like
That would be. Yeah, I can understand that dressing up because then.
or police or somebody
Security
like that.
guards or anything else. But listen, in 2019, a passenger caused a brawl by wearing a clown costume.
Oh, that's enough for me. I'm out. A clown costume.
I know. And look, and additionally, camouflage prints, although not banned as offensive, they're illegal in several popular cruise destinations like Barbados and St. Lucia and Jamaica. I never knew that.
Wow.
So don't wear your camos when you go on the
Because
Caribbean
it has
cruise.
a military, it could be a military person or something like that people mistake you for.
Interesting. So be careful what your dress-up costume is.
Well, so there you have it. Don't bother having sex in your clown costume while your partner is topless once you've had 5 cocktails and you've started swearing at staff members as they walk past you while you're taking selfies of the two of you on the edge of the ship. That basically sums it up.
It does.
That one is definitely off limits, and that will get you kicked to the brig. So there's the 11 things that will definitely get you banned for life on a cruise ship. All right, well, that sounds like our ship of the week just coming into dock. Something new that we're going to throw in from this week is to include a ship of the week so that everyone starts to get a picture of what different types of ships there are out there. And this week, you've chosen Azamara Pursuit. So tell us all about Pursuit.
Yeah, look, I suppose let's start off by talking about Azamara as a group as well. So a really cool cruise line specialising in small, up to 700 guests on board. So it's a smaller ship, can get into smaller ports. Great. That's a great option as well. And they are fully inclusive for all beverages, and that's a really big bonus on cruising. So you don't have to worry about having to buy your drinks at the bar. Everything's all inclusive. Look, the Pursuit we went on last year, and we did Cape Town to Canary Islands with the 5 days at sea that we talked about before. It's a great ship, 592 metres long. It was built in Malta, built in 2001. So it's been refurbed in 2018. I love her. She's great because it's intimate and small. You get to know people on board as well, but it's got some really beautiful bars and restaurants as well. The 2 specialty restaurants are excellent, especially Aquilina, the Italian. I love that. And if you do go on Azamara, please have the crab and prawn ravioli.
The lobster ravioli, wasn't it? Lobster ravioli at Aquilina. It's a must-do. And the other specialty restaurant is a steak restaurant, isn't it?
Uppercut, I think it was called.
Yeah, but that was very good as well.
They are. And look, the staff will get to know you there as well, because being a smaller ship and having only 700 max passengers on board, you get to know your wait staff and stuff. And they do an incredible Azamara white party every cruise, where they take all the furniture off the pool deck area, put in tables. They have amazing buffet, and it's a lot of fun. The band's playing, the captain's out there carving up the roast. It's a very personalised experience. And they also do the Azamara experience, which is that they'll take you generally off ship, to have a cultural immersion. So it could be going to an opera house if you're in, say, Italy and with an opera singer. You have drinks and canapes beforehand, and then have the performance, and then they bus you back onto the ship. And there's no cost to that.
How many passengers?
A maximum of 700.
And how many crew?
408. So a good ratio of crew to passengers. So you do feel like it's very personalised. I've got to say, the room attendant we had on our cruise was incredible. He was very attentive. Every time we walk out of the room, basically he was in there cleaning it. It was fantastic.
How many rooms? How many staterooms?
Staterooms, well, let's start off with the inside room and work up. So there's 24 of the inside rooms. And then when you look at the outside cabins, now this includes ocean view and balcony and suites, there's 331 rooms.
Okay.
So it's a great ship. One pool, that's the only thing I'd say. One pool. Which isn't huge, but it's adequate, and it's fine. The only other thing I want to say is they have a shower curtain.
Yes, you hate the shower curtain. You prefer a glass door that shuts. Nobody likes a shower curtain that's wrapping itself around your legs when you're trying to have a shower.
But I've got to say, in defence to Azamara, it doesn't cling on to you. It never did once. And they're not a big bathroom. So I was really surprised. So yes,
They must have the air blowing at the right angle or something in there.
They've got it worked out.
I just looked up the name of the other restaurant. It's called Prime Sea. That was the Italian, or the steakhouse, which was there. And they've got a cabaret lounge, Discoveries bar, the living room, and a card room as well, which we used most afternoons playing some cards. That means it's time for our final couple of specials before we take off. What else have you got this week?
Just because we've been talking about Azamara, in actual fact, I got these specials before we decided to do Azamara, but we've got 2 hot specials from Azamara. So Azamara Quest, it's departing 10th of June. It's a 9-night cruise, and I love this. It's going from Bordeaux, France. So gorgeous place to leave from, and it will arrive in Southampton in England. Going to travel through Laurent in France, Brest, Santa Margherita in Italy. You're going to go all the way up through France again and end up in Southampton. A brochure price, so that your brochure room is, for an inside room, is $10,632, but the price for everyone is $2,109.
Wow.
That's a saving of 80% or $8,523. And remember, Azamara includes all your alcohol.
Yeah.
It has a beverage package. So this is outstanding value. For an ocean view room, look, the brochure price is $11,912, but your price is $2,369. Again, saving 80% or a saving of $9,543.
Okay, what's the other special?
So Azamara Journey. So this is a longer cruise, but it's a very cool cruise. So you're going to cruise, it's going to depart on Friday the 13th of June at 17 nights from Copenhagen, Denmark, and then arrives back into Copenhagen, Denmark. And basically you're going to go up through Norway, Denmark, there's a lot of Norway, and then end up back at Copenhagen. I'm going to not even attempt to even try to get some of these names out.
So 17 days, leaves.
Leaving on the 13th of June.
So you just need to be able to get yourselves to Copenhagen in the first place. What's the inside room worth?
So inside room would, for a brochure price, would be $24,353, but we can offer it to you at $4,639. That's a saving of 81%. And then on that, it's a $19,714 saving.
What's an ocean view room?
Ocean view room, look, can go to as high as $25,953, but we've got it out at the moment for $4,999. Again, 81% off.
Wow.
And
if I want a balcony?
A balcony would normally set you back around $28,513, but we've got it on at $7,529 per person. That's a saving of 74%.
That's about 20 grand off the price, and they're US prices as well.
Absolutely.
Don't forget, these deals are current right now as of March 19, 2025, and subject to availability. All prices are in US dollars and are per person. If you'd like more information, get access to all the deals by signing up to our newsletter at 101cruise.com.au. Once you've signed up and you've got access inside the website, there are heaps of articles in the 101 Cruise magazine section, like 10 different cabin locations to avoid on a cruise ship and the ultimate cruise packing list. Don't forget also, whether you've booked a cruise through us or not, you can always buy travel insurance through our website. It's NIB Travel Insurance, which is one of the best, and I can tell you from experience, you will find it very hard to beat the rates that we can give you. Compare us with any other travel insurance provider and you'll see. Plus, if you're an NIB health member, you get a further 10% off.
For more, go to 101cruise.com.au and sign up for the newsletter and to get access to the site. You can also follow us on Facebook at 101 Cruise and on Instagram at 101 Cruises.